Hello everyone. So from today's onwards, I'm going to speak about one of the most common topics in each and every competitive examination, that is data interpretation. So whichever competitive examination you write, either it is SBI, IBPS, SSC, KAS, KPSC, any of the competitive examination, including RBI, RRB and all, you will find this particular concept. So in today's class, we will go for basics of the data interpretation. Specifically for NET and KSET syllabus, after the updation of the syllabus, they haven't mentioned that they will give only problems in this data interpretation. That is why we have to ready with the theory as well. Let's go for this. So sources, classification and acquisitions, you can refer any of the books. My preference is either you can go for Arihant publications, or even Truman's is also fine. The Pearson's publication is also the first preferred among these. The primary data, from the primary sources, we are collecting the data like a census. Government is collecting the data directly from us, right? So they come to the home and they are taking the data. Okay. So secondary data is like the inflation, is it? CPI, consumer price index, WHI, wholesale price index, and all these are all the data which is given from someone else and we are informing it. So that is what secondary data. Qualitative and quantitative data. Qualitative is nothing but which cannot be measured in units or money, like patience or how good one particular person is, likewise, which cannot be measured in units or money. Quantitative data can be measured in units, quantity, volume, or in money as well. Okay, so like a weights it may be, like a units it may be, or like a value of any of the products. So these all things are called as quantitative data. So I'm not focusing more on the theoretical aspects, since the theoretical aspects are not asked till now in any of the competitive examination, including NET and KSET. Data and governance, overall management of the availability, usability, integrity, and the security of the data and all. There will be a backup which is called as archive, and even discovery of the data. Some concepts are there in the reference books. You can go for that. Let me speak about basics of the mathematics needed. So one is of BODMAS. Can you solve this particular equation? So BODMAS full form is bracket open, division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. So in this equation, first you have to open the bracket. Okay, so 7 plus 5, you have to complete that. Then after, you have to go for the division, 6 by 2. Okay, then you go for the multiplication, it is 10 into 2 and 6 into 12. Then you go for the addition, that is 10 into 2 will be 20 plus 6 into 12 will be how much? 72. Correct. So then at the end you have to go for the subtraction, that is minus 3. So this is how you're going to calculate. Okay, so tables you should know 1 to 20 up to 30 counts, 20 to 30 up to 20 counts. Okay, n square means it is squares of the numbers till 30 counts you should know, n cube till 20 counts you should know. Conversion of the fractions to the percentage and vice versa also we have to know. For example, 1 by 4 is nothing but 25%, 20% is equal to 1 by 5. What is 12.5%? Then it is 1 by 8. Likewise, we have to know about conversion of the fractions to the proportionate and even proportionate conversion to the fractions. Okay, so the totaling techniques we have to know. I will speak about that as well. And equations like x percentage of y is equal to y percentage of x, you should know. And remember, these all mathematical techniques are also useful while solving the number series questions, percentage and fractions, time, speed, velocity related problems as well. That is also one of the unit under the paper 1. So I'll go for the example for totaling technique. So can you total the first column? It is 1000, 2000, 3000. Easily you can say it is 6000. The second column is 1500, 2300, 4700. So I'm sure for you it will take a little bit of time. Okay, the third one, obviously it will take a little bit more time, but here we don't have much time, is it? We have maximum of 1 minute to solve the question. So I'm following the Vedic maths. Okay, not a basic maths, it is Vedic maths. In basic maths, what happens is we will start from this digit, right? But in the Vedic maths, we are not going to do that. We will start from the left side. How we are calculating it? 1000, 1000, 1000 will be 3000. Then I will go for the 100th digit. Okay, so that is 500. 3000 was already there. 3500, 3700, 4200. Then I'll go for 10th digit, 4260, 4290, 4350. Correct. So upwards I'll go for the last one, 4354, 4358, and 4266. So this is what the calculations we do. Then we have to focus on the rows, what the rows indicate. Sometimes they give the marks, sometimes they give the schools and all, likewise. And then we have to focus on the columns as well, what these columns indicates, whether it's sales or whether it's a units of productions. Likewise, some of the aspects are there. So we should not make the calculations for eye-catching answers. So what is eye-catching answer? So in this column, which column's average is highest? If they have asked, then what you're going to do? Are you going to total every column? So are you going to divide it by 3? Average is calculated is summation divided by the n, is it? So you need not to go for that, because the highest total column itself will be highest average. Am I right? Okay. So x proportion of y is equal to y proportion of x. How? So let's say you are going for the 50,000's 18%. In that case, what you can do? Okay, instead of going for 18% of the 50,000, this is obviously it will take a little bit of time. So instead, we can make it like you can replace the 50 and 18. Okay, so 18,000 50% is nothing but 9,000. Okay, let's understand how to solve this type of the problems. Averages, we know sum of the values divided by number of the values, it's nothing but n. Ratio is a comparison of the similar terms in a simpler form. Percentage is multiplication of the 100 to the ratio. If they have asked less than question, it's difference divided by higher value into 100. If they have asked more than question, it is difference divided by lower value into 100. So percentage change or growth rate is nothing but final value minus initial value divided by initial value into 100. So different reference books give this particular formulas in a different ways. So I have simplified these formulas. You can remember how to remember. If it is a less than, then it is difference divided by higher value into 100. If it is more than, it is difference divided by lower value into 100. So these all formulas logic will work in the cross multiplication basis. The types of the data which is represented is, it may be in a pie chart, it may be in a line chart, it may be in a bar graphs, it may be in a tabular form, it may be in a mixed graphs as well. But in other competitive examinations like IBPS and SBI, they inform the data representation can be in 9 forms. Okay, I'll try to solve each and every types, but surely I will go for pie charts, line graphs, bar graphs, tabular forms and all. Okay, so this is a tabular form, everyone knows about this. So columns represents the company and this rows represents the year. This is a bar graph, which is another part of the representations. You may get this type of the questions in the data interpretation as well. So this is a pie chart. The total degree is 360. For example, you can see it here. So this degree, so total this will be a 360 degree. Okay, so we have to remember that as well. Okay, so it is a line chart. The better example I can give is a stock market. In the stock market, you can find the line chart usually. This is a multiple line graph. So likewise graphs you are going to find here. So that's it for today. So from tomorrow onwards, on the basis of these formulas and the questions, we are going to solve some of the important questions. So these questions are just a practice for you, but this much is not enough to clear any of the examination, remember. Okay, so practice well and wish you all the best.